Hello, everybody. I guess I am live. Wow. Hello and welcome. I am Patrick, County Neighborhood Shaman, and we are down here on the beautiful Cedar River near Renton, Washington. Look at how beautiful it is out here. The sun's just going behind the trees on its way down. It's such a beautiful, special place right here. And so, in a moment, I set our sacred space. That is where you will be with me. And we will do sacred pipe ceremony, which I will explain in a moment as I'm getting my stuff out. So, welcome, welcome. I'm glad you are here. I love sharing this. I was raised Catholic, and then I became pagan, and then I discovered that I was a shaman. So ceremony to me is like breathing, and I was literally born into ceremony. And this is the most powerful and profound ceremony that I know of personally. So, and it's such a privilege and honor to be able to share it with others. So you may have, if you have watched old westerns or like Dances with Wolves or anything like that, they smoke what they call the peace pipe. The Hollywood version is the peace pipe, right? And it is a Lakota ceremony that goes back 19 generations. It was brought to the Lakota people when it was a time of starvation, hunger, and drought, and all the various bands of the tribe were bickering and infighting and all that kind of stuff. It was just a general time of unrest. And it is said that the people had forgotten their connection with Mother Earth. And so that was the background when White Buffalo Calf Woman appeared and brought to the people the very first Chanupa, or sacred pipe. Hi everybody, welcome, come on in, make yourself to home. So she brought the pipe and taught them how to smoke it in a sacred manner, and she gave them a total of seven ceremonies. I had all of a sudden I was like, my mind kind of went click. 7 ceremonies, all of which revolve around the sacred pipe. This is the most sacred medicine object to the Lakota people. And I will tell you why in a moment. I'll make sure I get my altar all set up and everything. I'll get my drum out. So, as she explained it, the stem of the pipe is the divine masculine. The bowl of the pipe is the divine feminine. And so when we put the pipe together, it's all of creation. It's the divine masculine and the divine feminine in perfect unity, perfect harmony. And that, in a nutshell, is really what the pipe is about. It's about, like I said, it was brought to the Lakota people in a time of unrest and bickering and hardship. And it was brought to unify the people to unify them not with just each other, but with the cycles of the earth, all of that kind of thing, to bring them back into alignment, heaven and earth, right? And so it is still pertinent, because when we smoke the pipe, again, we're invoking the unity of all humanity, right? This is my representation of the medicine wheel, if you know what that looks like, but it's got the 4 colors: white, yellow, red, and black. Those are the colors in the medicine wheel. It's like a hoop with a cross in it, and then the 4 different colors. Among the many, many things that those colors represent, one of them is the different races of humans. All 4 races as one, like this, woven together in harmony to create something even bigger, even better. And so when we smoke the pipe, it's really about recognizing that divinity within each of us, recognizing and honoring the divinity within every person. So, and bringing a sense of unity and peace, right? But like that, there's a in the musical Rent, there's that one song, and I don't know the music or the song completely, but I remember the one lyric that really stood out, that the opposite of war is not peace, it's creation. And so with the pipe, bringing the masculine and the feminine together, we are creating a new reality, a new world, right? That's what happens when the masculine and the feminine come together. It naturally births something new. So that is why we continue to smoke the pipe, in recognition of the sacredness of every person living or dead, for that matter, and holding that vision of coming together, you know, the masculine and the feminine within each of us, the masculine principle and the feminine principle in the world, every culture, all people as one tribe, one race, under that sacred hoop, right? So that is kind of a nutshell version of the pipe and why we smoke it, where it came from. And so, before I go any further, I am going to set our sacred space, which we use the drum. The drum has literally been used since the beginning of time, maybe even before, right? The recorded time. And in many cultures, the drum is called the wind horse, because it's the hoofbeat of the drum that carries us to the spirit realm, especially when you're doing shamanic journey work and such. But because the drum has been used for so long, and the majority of that time has been in ceremony and in sacredness to connect to spirit, even now you start beating a drum and it gets the spirit's attention, right? You start beating the drum and the spirits are like, okay, where's the party? And so we use the drum to call in the spirits, and we call in the elements of the 4 directions, and this is just the way I do it, and then we call in the upper world and the lower world, which are the transcendent realms. If you think of the universe like a tree, if you know about Norse mythology and Yggdrasil, the world tree, the roots and the branches are where the spirits live. So those are the transcendent realms. And so we call in first the elements, earth, air, fire, and water, and the corresponding directions that those are assigned. And then we call in the upper world and the lower world, and then we call in the compassionate spirits of the middle world, our world. And I always put in that word specifically, compassionate spirits, so that we are calling in only those spirits that have our best interest at heart, that are in line with our intentions. Because in the middle world, this is the only world of that world tree where you can have high and low vibrational beings in the same space. And so everything in ceremony is intention. And so we state that intention by saying the compassionate spirits of the middle world, saying those are the only ones that are invited. We're not dissing the other ones, but we're just calling in those that resonate or in harmony with what our agenda is. And so this is what it looks like when I do it. Spirits of the earth, spirits of the air, spirits of the fire, spirits of the water, spirits of the upper world, spirits of the lower world, compassionate spirits of the middle world, the Fae, the spirits of the land, the ancestors of the land. Thank you for your presence. Thank you for holding us in your love and your light. Uh-oh. It's like, if you've been watching my videos for any amount of time, you might notice that every time I set sacred space, it's followed by this huge sigh, because it's not just symbolic. It's like we are calling in the spirits, these sentient beings that accompany us, to hold the space around us, to watch over us, and create this energetic container within which we can focus and set our intentions, and where alchemical, magical things can happen that don't just out there somewhere. So I always breathe easier after I set sacred space. It's amazing. It's palpable. All right. So just to go through the ceremony itself, to kind of give you an idea what to expect and everything. First thing I'm gonna do is light some sage. And smudge everything here on my altar that, if you were here earlier, you saw me kind of setting up. So I'm going to smudge everything. I'll smudge myself. I will send some smudge through the ethers of the internet to you as well. And then once I have it all cleared and everything, I'm going to take my pipe. I'm going to raise my pipe and say a prayer asking permission to smoke in this place at this time. And Assuming the answer is yes, that's when I will put the pipe together. And like I said, when we put the pipe together, it's all of creation, the masculine and the feminine, and it from the time the pipe goes together until it comes apart is one giant prayer, because it's basically the divine in our hands. This is church when we put it together, and it opens a channel straight to Creator, straight to Source. So all of your prayers and intentions shoot straight to Source. There's no resistance, no filling out anything in triplicate, no pining away. It's like straight there. And so I put my pipe together, and then the next part you'll hear out loud. I say it out loud, so you'll be able to follow along. But what I will be doing is taking 4 pinches of tobacco and putting them into the bowl. And so for each pinch, I offer different prayers and stuff. So you'll hear all of that. And it's like, offering the tobacco to the 4 directions, etc. And sometimes it feels to me like making cotton candy. It's like I'm going around the thing and collecting the prayers, like the cotton candy, kind of just wrapping around the stick or whatever. And so I'll be gathering the prayers and putting those prayers into the pipe. And once my pipe is filled, I have a song, White Buffalo Calf Woman, who I mentioned earlier, just happens to be one of my main guys and has been for many, many years. And when I became a pipe carrier, she taught me this song and asked me to sing it before each ceremony. And so once my pipe is filled, I will sing that song. And then I will light the pipe. And then the next part I do in silence, but what you'll see me doing, you'll see me take a big puff of smoke, and then I will offer the pipe to the 4 directions, like giving the spirits, it's like the smoking end to that direction, giving those spirits the chance to smoke with us. And then I blow the smoke the big puff I took, I blow it to them as a blessing. And I mentioned this last week, it just occurred to me recently that when I'm doing that, my exhale, blowing that smoke blessing to the spirits, is actually their inhale. That's them taking the puff off of the pipe. So I do that for all 4 directions, to Father Sky, to Mother Earth, in a circle for all our relations, and then to Great Spirit, straight up. Then I pause for a moment of silent prayer with the stem to my forehead, and the bowl to my heart, right? Masculine, feminine. Then I come back, and we'll probably have to relight the pipe. And then after I light the pipe again, the next thing I'm going to do is take a great big puff of smoke, and I'm going to blow it straight at my camera. And that is when you want to say your biggest, bestest prayers, or set your biggest, bestest intentions, because that's a blessing coming from the pipe, from the tobacco nation, the tobacco spirits, through my phone, and by the magic of the internet and the holographic universe, coming out whatever device you're watching this on, to your heart. And the idea is that when we blow that smoke out, it's carrying our prayers. We put our prayers into that smoke, and the smoke carries it to Creator. And so that's the smoke. I'm sending you that smoke to attach your prayers to offer to Great Spirit. Then I will continue to smoke for some of my own intentions, for some intentions others have asked me to pray for. In fact, I have a little book that I keep in my tobacco pouch that I write down different intentions that people have asked. So if you ever have any prayers that you want turbo boosted, or just want someone else to be helping to pray for it, let me know and I will write you down in my little book. And this stays on my altar. It's in my tobacco pouch. So it is always on my altar when I'm doing ceremony, and I do ceremony almost every day if I can help it. And so those prayers are constantly being reinforced and replenished and sent to Great Spirit on your behalf. So let me know. And I might smoke for a bit, and then I might sit for a little bit with the book on my lap and kind of silent meditation, and then I might smoke again. And when it feels complete, I will light my pipe again, and I will say another prayer. And the thing about that final prayer is that I usually do it in light language, if you've heard of that. So there won't be any, you won't be able to decipher any actual words. It's just syllables and sounds and such. But it's channeled light frequencies, basically. And the benefit of it, especially for me, being the one doing it, is that it keeps me out of my left brain. When I used to do these, I would say prayers at the end, and sometimes I found myself stuck in my left brain because I'm like, okay, what else do I need to say? Did I forget anything? What else do I have to pray for? Blah, 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 right? And when I do the light language, it's basically just an energetic channeling through of the energy. And so my left brain doesn't get in the way, and the prayers come through more authentically and more purely. So just receive it, receive the energy that comes through that. Don't try to figure it out. And then I have then a song at the very end, and then I will take the pipe apart. And depending on the time, I usually talk a little bit afterwards. My guides usually have something good to say. We'll see what happens. I never know what this is. If you couldn't tell already, none of this is planned, none of this is scripted. It's kind of a take me as you find me kind of thing. Which keeps me authentic and keeps me in the present moment. So yeah, I think that is it. So let us go ahead and start our ceremony. Again, thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate your presence and your energy. And I hope you get something out of this as well. So oops. May you walk in beauty in a sacred way. May you walk in beauty each and every day. May you walk in beauty in a sacred way. May you walk in beauty each and every day. May the beauty of the fire lift your spirits higher. May the beauty of the earth fill your heart with mirth. May the beauty of the rain wash away your pain. May the beauty of the sky make your mind to fly. May you walk in beauty in a sacred way. May you walk in beauty each and every day. May you walk in beauty in a sacred way. May you walk in beauty each and every day. May the beauty of the fire lift your spirits higher. May the beauty of the earth fill your heart with mirth. May the beauty of the rain wash away your pain. May the beauty of the sky make your mind to fly. May you walk in beauty in a sacred way. May you walk in beauty each and every day. May you walk in beauty in a sacred way. May you walk in beauty each and every day. Yahoo. Grandmother, grandfather, eagle, we send a voice. We ask permission to smoke in this place at this time. All our guides and guardians watch over us as we smoke. Creator, Earth Mother, Tawabin, Shawnadisi, Magicuus, and Waboose, there is always room for you in my pipe. Creator, Earth Mother, for the two-legged, the four-legged, the winged, the crawlers and the swimmers, all our relations come smoke with us. Grandmother Moon, Grandmother Ocean, to the energy of birth, growth, maturity, the spirit realm and our ancestors. May all the passages of our lives be in harmony and grace. Creator, Earth Mother, to eagle, coyote, bear, white buffalo calf woman, bringer of the pipe and the law of good relations to the people. Okane, Bayama, Okane, Bayama, Okane, Bayama, Okane. Okane, Bayama, Okane, Bayama, Okane, Bayama, Okane. Okane, Bayama, Okane, Bayama, Okane, Bayama, Okane. grandmother, grandfather, eagle, we send another voice. Atatakai tapahona lahai, talaha oku tapahuhu tapahai, tamahaha pakatakuhuhu, tamihite he hopatapahokata, malakataina o pavapahe, takahahai namahoho tabahalahai ama, akahe ha kolabaha, makapahai tekehe namahoho, tehikatapahai, talakapa hakapaho, namahakahai ho, tuhukatapahai namaho, talahakatahe, namaha kahahai maho, tehirapaha, takapahai namaho, batahai, tamakatahai, tamakaha, tamahai, baha. Ihi la ihi ho, ihi la ihi ho, ihi la ihi ho, ihi, ihi, ihi la ihi ho, ihi la ihi ho, ihi la ihi ho, ihi. Oofda. Oofda is Minnesotan for amen, so be it. Oofda. I'm in Washington. I've lived in Washington. I've been a Washingtonian longer than I've been a Minnesotan, but I still consider myself a Minnesotan. That's where I grew up. So anyway, that was really powerful. I hope you were able to feel some of that. That's the thing about doing this on, there's like advantages and disadvantages of doing this online. The reason I do this, I started doing this at the beginning of the pandemic when we couldn't gather together in the same space. When this is exactly the medicine that we needed, right? Bringing together masculine and feminine, etc. Finding that moment of peace and connection with spirit, that alignment. And so I started doing these on Facebook. I've done them on Facebook for 6 or 7 years-ish. And all of those are on my YouTube channel too, or most of them. Some of them might not have made it up there, but if you're ever curious, you want to go back and watch. If you enjoyed tonight, you got something from tonight. And you want you later in the week or next week or whatever, you're feeling like, oh my God, I could really use some sacred space and some someone to hold space so that I can open up my heart and connect to spirit. You can watch this again. This will be on my YouTube channel, or you can go back and just randomly pick another one from years ago, and it's just as vital right now as it was when I first recorded it. So oh, thank you. I can't read your name, but someone said they would donate $1,000 if they had it on them right now. Oh my God, thank you. That is so kind. And that, even though you may not have the dollars, just saying that energetically is a huge boost to me. So thank you for that. intention is everything, right? So I started doing this online, and the advantage of it is that, you know, people can click in and out if they want to or need to. Um, or it's like I hold this space for people to connect to spirit. And so whatever anyone feels comfortable doing, whatever helps them to connect to spirit, they are free and welcome to do that during this time, because it doesn't disturb anyone, right? Um, if we were in person, we would have to be like silence and everything. But if chanting or singing or dancing or something like that is how you connect to spirit, maybe I should have said that at the beginning, but you're welcome to do that kind of thing when I'm online with the ceremony. One of the disadvantages is that I don't get to see and feel the reaction of people, like the immediate reaction of people, if we were encircled right here at the same place. So, but my intention, my prayer is always that the people who find me, who choose to watch this, get what they need out of it. So, and I just recently stepped out of my comfort zone and started doing this on YouTube rather than Facebook. It's a way to help bolster my voice and influence, etc., etc. And so thank you. I've noticed a lot of new people coming on, and I appreciate your presence. I hope you will come back. This is always a safe space for you, whoever you are, no matter who you are, no matter what deities you worship, or even if you don't, this is a safe and sacred space for you. And I do it every Wednesday night at 6 o'clock Pacific time. And so I hope you will come back. I hope you will invite your friends. I hope you will share this video. If you know of someone, if you had a good experience and you know of someone who could use that boost or use that sacred space, please, by all means, share this out and about. And if you haven't already, I ask that you would please subscribe to my channel and like my videos. I'm not one who knows the ins and outs of algorithms and all that technical stuff, but by doing that, you actually help me as well. You support me, and that helps other people be able to find me, apparently. So for that, I thank you as well. And well, I guess I'm doing all the plugs right now. I usually wait till the very end. But if you did enjoy this and you wish to reciprocate in a different way and support your friendly neighborhood shaman, I have my PayPal and Venmo links in the description under this video. This is my day job. This is what I do for a living. And so, you know, it's sometimes uncertain how much, like, I don't work a 9 to 5, so I don't have that steady this amount of money in this time kind of thing. So every little bit that you give me is significant, and it supports me on my path so that I can focus on my spiritual growth, make sure I have enough food for me and my kitty, and keep a roof over my head so that I can learn more, go further on my spiritual path, so that I have more to share with you to guide you on your spiritual path. That is my job. And so again, for that, any support you give me, I am so beyond grateful for that. Thank you so much. You know, I just got off the phone with a client before this, And I know there's a lot, there's a lot going on in the world right now, right? Um, a lot of darkness, a lot of uncertainty. Um, and believe me, my life has been full of that as well. I've been, for a while now, I've been experiencing kind of a dark night of the soul, a questioning of what I believe, and this period when it's like this liminal space in between. It's like, and that's why it's dark, is because it's unknown. But the fact is, if you find yourself in the dark, if you find yourself in confusion, in things falling apart, rather than it being a sign of failure or that you're doing something wrong or that you're unworthy, it's actually the opposite. If you were living up to your potential, you had no further to grow in this life or whatever, those things wouldn't happen, because you would be exactly where you're meant to be. It would be all contentment. There would be no rough spots. But when things start to fall apart, it's like the snake, right? The snake skin, the snake's old skin starts to shed, not to make room for the new skin, but the old skin starts to fall apart because of the new skin growing in. The snake is literally outgrowing its old skin. And so if things are falling apart, if that old skin, the old thoughts and beliefs of who you thought you were, and the things that used to help, the things that used to strengthen you or that you could rely on to bolster you. I've been using the word bolster a lot tonight. I don't know why. Aren't working anymore. It's because you're leveling up. You're literally outgrowing your old reality. And that darkness is the darkness of the womb of the cosmic mother. When you're in that space, you are safer than, just like when you're when your mother is pregnant with you, and you're in your mother's womb, you are safer than any other time in your life, right? The same goes here. When you're in that darkness, you're in the womb of the universe, of the cosmic mother. That space is being held for you. Your needs are being met. It may not seem like it, and there's a lot of fear in it, which actually those things are part of the old skin starting to shed away. And so just know, if you find yourself in that place that you have not done anything wrong, you are not being punished, you're still in the right place at the right time. I still get that SAD or SAD, whatever, that winter kind of disorder, whatever they call it, where I tend to get a little more depressed and such in the winter time. And it used to be more pronounced than it is now. But at one point, I realized that, if we use Bear as an example, Bear going into the cave in the wintertime to sleep, to dream, to vision his life or her life to what it's going to be in the future, that's what this period is. And so in the past, I used to run away from the darkness. I tried to fill the darkness, or and it was the resistance to actually being present in the darkness that was creating the majority of my pain. and anxiety and fear. So at one point, I made a decision and I started a blog. It was just for me, but it was kind of like my journal that I could keep plugging into, and I called it Embracing Bear. When the darkness comes, rather than running away from bear, being afraid of bear, this was the opportunity to crawl in to the cave with bear and embrace bear. You know, bear, I have heard bear referred to as the first deity ever worshipped by humans. And if you go back to the oldest known tomb sites, that people were usually buried with bones and skulls of bear, because she was the original mother goddess. She had dominion over life and death. She died for all intents and purposes in the wintertime and then came back to life in the springtime. And so it's that same, like, you know, death is going in back into that womb, but we do it, we have our own cycles of summer and winter. And so you can find yourself in your own personal winter, no matter what time of year it is. But it's like when you do, and I know this sounds easier said than done, but the better you can get at just sitting with that darkness, sitting with the discomfort, right? When Snake is shedding his skin, it's like the old skin is peeling off, the old skin is drying out. I can just imagine that it is itchy as heck. It's uncomfortable. The eyes of Snake are part of the skin that it sheds. And so when it's in the process of shedding its skin, it is literally blind and cannot see ahead of itself. So when you find yourself in darkness, what do we do in darkness? We rest, we dream. And so it's like utilize that darkness for self-care. If there is no clear path ahead of you, if you can't see the path ahead of you, it's time to rest. Because when it is time, you know, in perfect timing, that springtime sun will dawn, your path will open up before you, and there'll be nothing that can hold you back from following it. So just treat yourself with gentleness. Give yourself the grace to know that you are in the right place at the right time. That you are greater than anything that happens to you. You are greater than anything that you can fear, because like what Dr. Wayne Dyer would say, you are a spirit having a human experience, not a human having a spiritual experience. Your default setting, your true essence is spirit, and spirit is eternal. You will out any and all challenges that you face in this temporal world, right? In a temporal world, everything is temporary. This too shall end. And know that you are the only thing in your world that will be eternal. And that nothing, I'm trying not to go on too many tangents because we could be here for another couple hours. But truly, even like Einstein said that the universe is vibration and frequency. That's everything. And so things can only be in your world if they somehow resonate with your frequency. And that's why they can say, you know, God will never give you anything you can't handle, because nothing, if there is something in your life, as horrendous or as daunting as it may seem, it would not be there if you did not have the means to get through it. In a way, if you can think of it as the universe having so much faith in you, the universe knows who you are, and the universe is nudging you along every step of the way. And sometimes the universe will give us these huge challenges. And we think it's unfair, or we think we're being punished. And no, it's because the universe knows exactly what you're capable of. The universe knows exactly where you are frequency-wise. And so any challenges and issues coming up is actually the universe showing its faith in you. Like even Mother Teresa said one time that, she knows that God wasn't going to give her anything that she couldn't handle. She just wishes he didn't trust her so much, right? So if you can teach yourself to approach everything in your life, like a channel being Bartholomew that I used to follow used to say, whatever it is God. There is only one of us here. There is no separation. And so anything in your life is there for your benefit. If you're going to approach it that way, that's when the illusions start to unwind and you start to see behind the curtain, and the miracles and the synchronicities start. And then at some point you'll be like, how could I have ever doubted that? So trust in the universe that trusts in you. So anyway, I think that's all I had to say for tonight. I thank you again for your presence, for your listening to me, for your participation in the ceremony. Like I mentioned earlier, my job is to help you on your spiritual path. And so if you feel called to, you can visit my website, perchingwolfstudios.net. You can learn more about me. You can see the various shamanic services I offer, readings and healings and teachings. Oh my! I do card readings. I do shamanic healing, like soul retrieval, fairy doctoring, power animal retrieval, etc. And I also teach classes. I don't have any at the moment, but I do also one-on-one mentoring. So if you're more of a person who would prefer to have a one-on-one teacher to find your spiritual path, feel into it. Check out my website, see how I feel to you, see if I feel like a match to you. If I do, it would be my highest honor to be able to help you find your way. Again, please share this video, subscribe and like my videos. Like I said, there's tons of other ceremonial videos and reading videos and songs and stories, all kinds of stuff. So check that all out. Please share, invite your friends, and yeah. So comes time to release our sacred space. So again, picking up the wind horse to carry us to spirit and release the spirits that so lovingly have held this sacred space for us, so that we didn't have to be hyper vigilant and worrying about what might be out there. So spirits of the earth, spirits of the air, spirits of the fire, spirits of the water, spirits of the upper world, spirits of the lower world, compassionate spirits of the middle world, the Fae, the spirits of the land, the ancestors of the land. Thank you for your presence. Thank you for holding us in your love and your light. Our work for now is done, but you are always welcome in our circles. Thank you for welcoming us into yours. Oh. All right, my friends, thank you again so much for your presence, for your support, for your energy. I hope to see you again. Tell your friends, share my video, and until I see you again, know that I love you, that I see you, and that I honor you. Have a wonderful week, everyone, and go shining. All right, bye now.